way to get rid of this guy. We do not. Impeachment is a joke. We've proven it a joke over 2 centuries.
Well, I can to some well, he's obviously a huge narcissist, but I can kind of understand how his mental state could have gotten a lot worse here. Because if you look at how he thought things were going for him and how it actually went, it's quite a shock. That is, he sees the U.S. Relative decline in the world as being caused by these weak leaders, and he's very convinced, and it seems that he's the solution because he's the strong leader, he's a smart leader. So he's essentially America's revival rests on his shoulders. And then, the his first administration, you saw that the intelligence services attempted to take him down with this Russia Gate hoax, and he overcame it. And then, but nonetheless, he lost the presidential election, which he says was stolen. And then, but he was able to come back against all odds and regain the presidency. And again, it becomes this underdog story, which he becomes his own hero. And then the people tell him, listen, how about you take out Venezuela, kidnap, take the leader. And then he does it in one day, like a, great, like a great warrior. And he's able to essentially restore the dominance of the US in his own backyard. And then they say, hey, how about you can also take Cuba? How about Iran? No other American leaders have ever been able to do this, but that's because they were weak. Their weakness is why we're in decline. You're the strong one. And suddenly he goes from, just going higher and higher, more and more success in his own mind, and then suddenly everything falls apart, especially now in Iran. It must be, for a narcissist, this must be very devastating, though. I can imagine, if I was him, retreating into my own reality, but I'm